Doing the proper preparation can mean the difference between you delivering a great and impactful speech and you delivering a lackluster speech that really doesn't impact anyone at all. So preparing correctly for your speeches and your presentations is a very important skill, and it's a very important part of public speaking. So it's important to know how to prepare properly and how you can get the most out of your preparation time. Hi, I'm Ryan from PublicSpeakingPower.com, where we teach people like you how to become a more powerful and effective public speaker. We release daily videos, podcasts, and articles, so head over to PublicSpeakingPower.com if you want more information. So, preparing for our speech or presentation. How can we do it and how can we get the most out of our presentation time? Today I've got 6 tips for you about how you can better prepare. Tip number 1 is to select your topic, but to also select your core message. So if you're doing research on the internet about preparing your speeches, then almost every speech will say to choose your topic. It's an obvious starting place, but a lot of people miss out the fact that you need to also select the core message that you want to get across. I could have a topic like global warming, but I could have the core message of that we need to invest in clean energy, or I could have the core message that we need to reduce our emissions by not using as much energy, or I could have the core message of we need to plant more forests to reduce to suck in the emissions as well. So the same topic can deliver a lot of different core messages. So by getting clear on your core message and exactly what you want to deliver to your audience, that will then frame how you prepare from then on in. Step number 2 is to create a structure for your speech. So speeches are generally nothing without structure. Without some sort of pattern, some sort of journey, some sort of flow, your speech is going to be a bit confusing to the audience. So just like I have my 6 tips that I'm going to deliver to you, you want to have a structure for your speech. There are many different ways that you can structure your speech or create an outline. I have created 2 different videos on how to create a speech outline and a speech outline example that I will link to that you can check out. So create a message that has an engaging introduction. We really want to grab people with our introduction, and I did a video on how to create memorable or even shocking introductions, so check that out. We want to have a great body using lots of stories and lots of ways of engaging the audience, and then we want to finish off with a bang with our conclusion. That is how most speeches go. Start with an introduction, have their body, and then have their conclusion at the end. But how you go through your speech is really up to you. Tip number 3 or step number 3 is to then write the speech. Or if you decide you are prepared enough, you can stop right here and you can just wing it. Because I deliver daily videos, not just for Public Speaking Power, but for other websites as well, I don't have the time to sit down and to write down every single word I am going to say or exactly what I want to say during my presentations. So I will create a speech outline and I will then go out and I will wing it. But if I'm going to be giving a more formal presentation, or if I'm going to be getting paid by someone to speak to their company or to speak to a particular audience, then I'm going to go into more detail and I'm going to start to write out my speech, and I'm going to start to get used to the flow of my speech and learn it. So writing out your speech can be a very effective way of preparing. Step number 4 is to then practice your speech with gestures. We don't just want to add gestures to our speech, because gestures will come naturally, and I have talked in detail about using gestures, but what we want to do is we want to practice our speech in front of a mirror or in front of a video camera, and we want to practice using gestures during our presentation. We can plan out gestures if you want and say, well, at this point I'm going to do this, and at that point I'm going to do that. But I think that is overkill for most people and is going to confuse you, because now there's so many different things that you need to remember. What you want to do is practice your speech, make sure that it flows well when you're saying it, and then use gestures and practice your gestures. Make sure they seem natural and that you're not doing anything weird like consistently scratching your ear or something along those lines. Step number 5 is to practice in front of people and get feedback. So this is very important, especially if you're giving an important speech or presentation. By practicing by yourself is great, but as soon as you get up in front of someone, there's this innate ability in us that begins to understand areas of our speech that don't flow or that just sound silly. And so even if it's getting up in front of your spouse or getting up in front of your kids or in front of one of your friends, by getting up in front of someone who can give us feedback, we will naturally understand ourselves when something's flowing and when it isn't. And we will also get the added benefit of the feedback that the person provides us. But by practicing in front of someone before you go ahead and deliver your speech, you can get necessary feedback that can make your presentation what it needs to be. And step number 6 is to learn and improve after you deliver your speech. So don't just deliver your speech, say, oh, thank goodness that speech is over, let's go on and live my life. You're going to have to give multiple public speeches throughout your life. So it's important to learn from every single experience that you have and to become a better public speaker. So start to think about some of the things that you did well. Even try and list them either on a piece of paper or just in your head. Say, what did I do well? I did my gestures really well. It was really great how I used this data and I made it very simple to understand. And then go into more detail about, well, what could I improve? Rather than saying, what did I did wrong, which brings us down and brings our morale down, let's look at, well, what can I improve and what can I do better next time? That way we're saying, well, I didn't necessarily do this great, or I fumbled here. If I was to do it again or next time, I would go ahead and say this. So rather than just beating ourselves down and saying, well, what did I do wrong? We want to say, well, how can I improve and how can I be better next time? So there you have 6 tips on how you can prepare for a public speech. If you want more videos, podcasts, or articles just like this one, then please head over to PublicSpeakingPower.com and let me help you become a more powerful and effective public speaker.